Now at 11, tensions flare on New York City streets as an anxious nation awaits an outcome on the president's race. Skirmishes do break out at protests in the city.
When the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
Joe Biden all but claiming victory as the president takes his campaign's fight to the courtroom. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Natalie Pasquarello.
I'm David Ushery. Glad you're with us at 11. Tonight, we still don't know who won the presidential election. We may be several days away from an answer. A handful of battleground states continue to count the crush of mail-in ballots that will determine who wins the White House. And as that important work continues, yes, demonstrators in New York and around the nation are raising their voices, they say, to protect the election from fraud.
And before we take you out live to the marches in Manhattan, let's give you a look here at where the presidential race stands. Joe Biden holding a narrow but growing lead over President Trump in the electoral count, while both still are shy of that 270 needed to win. But with millions of ballots still uncounted, the Trump campaign is laying the groundwork for contesting the outcome. Late tonight, they filed another lawsuit, this one in Georgia, demanding increased access to the process.
News 4 staying close to both candidates as we do approach a decision in the race. Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo kicks off our coverage tonight from Washington, D.C. with the Trump campaign. Melissa?
David, whether or not Joe Biden's prediction of victory today comes to pass, President Donald Trump is still making it clear he's not going down without a fight.
This is a fraud on the American public.
After declaring both victory and fraud in the middle of the night, the president's electoral chances faded further.
We want all voting to stop.
The voting already had stopped, but the counting continued today, with Biden claiming more states and encroaching on the president's Pennsylvania lead.
The Democrats know that the only way that they could win this election is to cheat in Pennsylvania.
Team Trump launching a slew of new legal challenges in several states. One filed in Philadelphia demanded the vote counting should stop because it's not transparent enough. It was rejected.
Not a single Republican has been able to look at any one of these mail ballots. They could be from Mars, as far as we're concerned, or they could be from the Democratic National Committee. Joe Biden could have voted 50 times, as far as we know, or 5,000 times.
President Trump also chimed in on Twitter with a vague claim. They're finding Biden votes all over the place in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So bad for our country.
Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election.
But even some of Trump's fellow Republican friends are distancing themselves, saying what Trump calls cheating is just old-fashioned counting.
There's just no basis to make that argument tonight.
In the state of Wisconsin, Trump wants a recount. Former Republican Governor Scott Walker calling Biden's 20,000 vote lead a high hurdle.
There's not many times I have agreed with former Governor Walker, but when he said it's a high hurdle, the 20,000 votes, I agree.
Because the results in Wisconsin were so close, within 1%, the president is entitled to a recount, though past recounts in that state have not produced results that differed much from the original totals. For now, the uncertainty lingers, though, with voters watching not only the evolving counts, but the courts as well. Live in Washington, D.C. tonight, Melissa Russo, News 4, New York.
It does linger, Melissa. Thank you. And from Washington, we'll head to Wilmington, Delaware. Former Vice President Joe Biden confidently predicting victory. News 4's Andrew Siff continues our team coverage tonight. He's following the Biden campaign. Andrew?
Right, David. Joe Biden indicating to supporters it's not a matter of if, but when he clinches the amount, the 270 needed to become president-elect. But before then, also sending a message to President Trump and his legal team they're not about to allow the challenging of valid votes.
Joe Biden appearing with running mate Kamala Harris, quickly answering the legal threats from President Trump.
Every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced.
Biden sounding confidently today, emboldened by key wins in battleground states. NBC News projecting Biden wins in Wisconsin and Michigan, putting the former VP within striking distance of the presidency.
It's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report that when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
Biden also pointing to a sizable lead in the popular vote after an election with huge turnout.
Of special significance to me is that we've won with the majority of the American people. Senator Harris and I are on track to win more votes than any ticket in the history of this country.
But that history-making milestone is not yet enough to end an election that unfolded amid a pandemic and severe political polarization. Biden again talking as though he'll emerge in charge.
I know this won't be easy. I'm not naive. Neither of us are. I will work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as I will for those who did vote for me.
That was a similar theme from Joe Biden just about 3 months ago here in Wilmington at the Democratic National Convention. It's the same site where he hopes to address supporters if he's able to clinch that 270 and become president-elect. We're live in Wilmington, Delaware. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Andrew, thank you. On Capitol Hill, the Democrats still have a chance to take control of the Senate with 5 of yesterday's races still officially undecided. As of now, the Republicans are hanging on to a 48-47 majority. We might have to wait until January to find out who comes out on top. That's when there will be at least one runoff election and possibly 2 in Georgia. In the House, the Democrats do remain in control, but as things stand now, they've suffered a net loss of 6 seats, including 2 here in New York.